Okay, next video. This is what, number 4 or 5 now? I wrote some shit down, so let's go there. Let's talk about... Let's just get to the heart of shit. Discomfort with being oneself. Emotion and survival. And the other topic is like corrupt world systems, which essentially ties into it. So maybe I'll just tie into it. Okay. The reason why this became a topic was because I was talking about how people, in my last video, how consciousness affects reality, and how your thoughts can create like stress and tension in your body, biologically. And then how, I was talking about how, like, you know, when I've seen in myself and other people in conversations, like, this phenomenon that happens where, like, if someone is feeling uncomfortable, they fidget, they like try and fix their spine or their neck, either during an uncomfortable moment or maybe right after, like some sort of tense moment or like whatever. And like it always feels like a lack of ability to be vulnerable and authentic with the way that you're feeling. And it's like a facade. It's like it's like a front, like a cover up. Like, because it's like this feeling that like you can't show your true self or the way that you really feel. I see it in men often. It probably happens. I mean, it happens. I'm sure it happens with everybody. But I could deduce that it probably happens a lot in men because of the whole like toxic masculinity and like can't show your emotions, can't be vulnerable. So you know that creates blockages in your like processing of thoughts and emotions, and then they get stuck in your body and your spine and your neck. Self-criticism, like fear of the future, like fear of outcomes. So yeah. And then again, not to say it doesn't happen to women, but yeah. So then, because like in my own spine, like there's been shit that has happened, like chronic pains and shit. But I notice that it goes away when I'm more true to myself. So, which is great. Like, it's like, you know, you don't need to necessarily get a surgery. You can heal yourself with your fucking consciousness, like with your thoughts and with your mind, with focus and with your imagination. I mean, that's fucking crazy. I mean, I guess probably in 1,000 years it won't be so crazy, but like based like right now in this day and age, like to a lot of people that's fucking crazy. I mean, it's becoming more prevalent though, so that's great. But it's like Jesus fucking healed people, so like why can't we? And you can have a plethora of arguments against that, but fuck all that. Although I respect you and your opinion. But what else? Oh yeah, so being comfortable with oneself. I mean, everything I'm saying ties in, so. My fucking phone fell. Interesting. Right after 4:20. Maybe I should be smoking weed. That'd be interesting. What if I recorded a video while I was high? That sounds fun. Okay, I'll do that next. Well, maybe when I run out of topics. Okay. What else? So, Okay, how am I tying this in? So, this day and age, it's a problem. I mean, we're getting out of the we're still getting out of the survival mentality. Like, doing things out of necessity for survival. So basically, and you know, survival, like, of course, like, you, the mentality, of course, is like, you do anything. You'll like, to not die, you'll do anything. So, which makes fucking sense. Like, I understand. Like, even things you don't want to do. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Doing things you don't want to do. Being something you don't want to be. Because otherwise you would die. So, I mean, it makes sense, but like, but even years ago, I mean, the Bhagavad Gita, which is like a Hindu text, an Indian text, spiritual text, it even says, like, basically, it says that once you realize that we don't die, like, it's just this human form that dies, right? Like, your consciousness, or like, I don't know, your God self goes on, or whatever. Like, you know, the thing that's observing this physical reality, like, that's the real you. And like, once you're in with that, like, it doesn't matter whether you're alive or dead. It doesn't matter. Like, whether anything is alive or dead, like, it doesn't matter. Not to say, like, go around killing people, but like, you know, because we're like, I mean, we chose to, like, be here for a reason. Might as well allow that to continue. But essentially, like, what Krishna was saying, you know, at the beginning when that war was about to happen, was like, because like the general or whatever that he was talking to was like, I'm afraid because, or I feel uncomfortable because, like, or like distraught or in despair because, like, I'm going to war with my own family members. Like, is that okay? And Krishna's like, it's fine. Like, everyone lives and dies. It's fine. Like, you can just be equally joyous about whether or not there's life or death, because ultimately, in ultimate reality, in infinity, like, it's all it doesn't matter. It's all the same, and it's actually all it's probably all contributing to the process of consciousness evolving and expanding, and life, you know, all that shit. So, like, ultimately, like, all of it can be just perceived as a joy. Even like the things that we consider like the worst fucking things possible, like death. So then from there, it's like, okay, well, I mean, if you don't have that mentality, and it's like, oh my god, I gotta survive because there's nothing else. Like, I gotta survive. There's nothing else. This is my one life. Like, I gotta do what I gotta do, even if I fucking hate it. Even if I fucking hate it, I gotta do it. And it's like, but if you don't think like that, then you don't have to be like that. And you realize you don't have to. So then, once you're there, it's like, okay, well, I don't have to do shit I don't want to do anymore. Then I can just be my damn self, and I can just be my damn self, and fucking feel what you want, do what you want, think, say what you want, what you are, without trying to hide it. You can, like, you know, be honest about it, express it, you know, whatever. But, you know, naturally, with the survival mentality still in this day and age, like, there's still this idea that you can't do that. Otherwise, you won't succeed financially, which is essentially survival, right? But if you go, spiritual about it, it's not even. I try not to like get spiritual, like, because it can sound like woo woo, and which is fine. Like I don't fucking care. But like, it's nice to not have to. It's nice to be able to like explain this stuff without going into that realm of verbiage, vernacular, I don't know, terms, diction, I don't know. It's like, it's nice to speak about it in a way that, like, is based in physical reality, as far as we understand it. So, like, energetically, which, that's not the way I'm going to go about it. Okay, so, like, energy, it's not like that's like a fake thing. Like, that's a scientific thing. Like, energy, right? Like, we can measure that somehow, can't we? Like, we can measure, like, electromagnetic waves and shit that are coming out of our bodies, and the frequencies that we're giving off magnetically or whatever. I never know the term. Like, we can measure that now. And then, like, we can measure, like, there are ways of measuring, like, a positive emotion versus negative emotion. And, like, we can feel that in our bodies. And so, like, what we're finding out is that, like, moving beyond the mentality of, like, mere survival, or, like, not even moving beyond that, but, like, moving into the mentality of, like, energy. And we'll just go with energy, because, like, what we're finding out is that everything is giving off a particular energy, right? And like attracts like. So the energy that you're putting out is the energy that you're going to attract to yourself. So, like, you can use that, right, to survive. And then even more than that, like, thrive, right? So, like, if you're focused on, because, like, you can focus on, because it's like the way that you're thinking about it and the way that you're feeling about it. It's like, even in, like, stories or the movies where, like, the who dies, it's like the bitches, like the people that are of a certain energy, right? Like, it's like, not the villains. I mean, yeah, the villains, but, like, also, yeah, like the villains, like the people that are not believing in joy and love and, all that happy shit. Like, those are the ones that survive. Or at least if they don't survive, they at least go out in a way with, like, dignity, or, like, something positive, like, it feels good. And, like, whether you die or not, like, that's the ultimate goal, right? Like, at least you felt good. And I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I wrote down emotion. So, like, yeah, emotion, like feeling good, right? Like, you have to feel good. And boy, like, I'm telling this to myself too, because, like, I've spent a lot of my life not feeling good. And it's a funny thing. But it's a reality. But it's also a choice. That's what I'm talking about. So, like, if you can manage yourself in a way so that you feel good, and like, and I don't want to get all black and white about it, because it's like, oh, there's feeling good and there's feeling bad, because like you can fuck with yourself in a way, in a good way, where it's like you can feel good about feeling bad, so then you feel good about everything, and then you're a god. like you're unstoppable. Like, if you could feel good about feeling bad, like if you could feel grateful about feeling bad, or like you know, see the good in everything, right? Like the video, so there's this, okay, like, you know, if you've heard of Law of One, and then the entity known as Ra, who was channeled by these people in the 70s, like this entity, a higher dimensional being, like a group of beings speaking through this person that was being channeled through, and then had a conversation talking about topics about life. But there's another entity called Quo. You can look this shit up on YouTube or on the internet, that also talks about shit, and was channeled through these people, or some people, I think the same people, or maybe some other people too, more recently, talking about shit, talking about life, and like, to view, and he was talking about, or they, I don't know what the pronouns are for a higher dimensional group of beings known as Quo. It'd be nice to ask. Quo, what are your pronouns? Anyway, whatever. So, okay, viewing a situation as like bad or good, like, that's like elementary. It's like, and I've done that, but like, there's this, you know, the expansion of one's consciousness, or like one's mind, comes with the idea of like seeing everything as multidimensional. Every situation multidimensional, probably infinitely multidimensional, infinite dimensional. Like, basically every situation has like infinite aspects or factors to it. Everything. So that's way beyond good and bad, positive and negative. It's like, it's completely, that blows that shit out of the water. It's like, so then it becomes everything is everything in a unique makeup of that particular moment, instance, experience. So then it's like, okay, well then, if everything is everything, then, and you want to feel good, or you want to feel however you want to feel, then what are you going to focus on in the everything? And you put your attention, and then you put your attention accordingly, and then you perceive what you're focusing on accordingly, because you can go meta with it. It's like, it's not just like you're looking at this and only this about the everything, or, you know, it's also like how you're looking at it, and then you can probably just look at everything a certain way, and then it's like, it's not even just focusing on certain aspects. It's like you can still focus on everything, and the way that you're looking at everything can just be like the way you want it to be, and then you're even more fucking God. Like, and like this idea of like things are bad or good, it's like, that's just like, I guess it's just like smaller consciousness, like smaller mindedness. That's just like nearsightedness, I suppose. Like, that's just all that is. And it's just part of the process of growth. So it's fine. I mean, everything's fine. But, you know, if you want to be better, or if you want to grow in this way, then here you go. So that's cool. I mean, that's wonderful. It's like, it's so rich. It's more rich. It's more deep. It's more aware. It's more vast. It's more, there's more consideration. There's more I just said aware. There's more awareness. I mean, more knowledge, more wisdom, like... everything just sounds better. So, there you go. So what was my topic? Discomfort with being oneself, emotion, survival. Yeah, I think that takes care of it. So, because like, I suppose that brings more comfort with being oneself, because you can like see everything for what it is. Oh, that's what Buddhists talk about, seeing everything for what it is. Essentially, like equanimous, right? Is that the term? Like having equanimity, seeing everything as equal. Ultimate objectivity, essentially. Or maybe it's like some sort of paradox of like objectivity and subjectivity. I don't know. Like pure both, or ultimate both. Or maybe, oh my god, or maybe that's what like God consciousness is. Like, it's like the subjective it's like the subjective, it's like God's subjective experience. It's like on one level God's subjective experience, like the all's subjective experience, you know, through all of us individually. But then also it's objective because it's still separate in a sense. Just like paradox. I mean, just paradox shit. You know, paradox shit. So, yeah, I don't know, that's cool. So, does that answer the topic? I mean, I suppose being comfortable with oneself, I guess the less nearsighted you are, the more you see everything, it's like the more comfortable you are with being yourself, because it's like, if you're only looking at such a small view lens of reality, then it's like you have to conform to that, I suppose. Like, if your reality is just this, it's like, this is all you know. So, this is all you know. So, you gotta be this. But once you get here, it's like, or everything, or bigger, it's more like, more context. It's like, oh, I can be this or that. It's okay, because, you know, there's all this. Yeah. So this machine here that just turned on, I don't know if you can hear the sound. It like turns on every time I think or do something cool. Which is because like reality is all connected. Everything's fucking connected. You know, synchronicities, all that shit. So yeah. Okay, that's good. Bye.